Whatever.
Haters gonna say it's fake.
Hello and welcome to another Woodshop podcast with Mike Coffey of Coffee Custom Builds, Daniel Dunlap of Daniel Dunlap Woodworks, and Peter Kapar of Petrie's Workshop. You can find us all as well as the podcast on Instagram and YouTube.
Welcome to episode 145 of another Woodshop podcast, the shopsmith of podcasts. We take a solid idea, slap a bunch of segments on it, and you hope for the best. It didn't work for Shopsmith, but for us, well, we're still waiting to see.
It also is not working.
Yeah, before you know it, everyone's going to just have like an old AWP podcast in their basement that they're going to refinish one day.
AWP podcast. The old AWPpodcast.com. No, big thanks to our patrons for sponsoring the podcast. You guys are amazing. We got two new sponsors. That's Nathan Smith from Craftman Smith and Bailey Thompson. Big thank you to you. Two new army.
Are you talking about Bailey Smith of the Shopsmith fortune?
Actually, they're related. Yeah. Great grandfather.
Did I say Bailey Smith?
No,
you meant Bailey Thompson. Okay.
No, you said
I was totally thrown.
It was Stanley Bailey and the Shopsmiths. They made one tool together. It was a hand plane attached.
The hand plane is attached to it, and you have to pull the wood.
It just runs on a rotor.
No. Oh God, this is the worst. Big thanks to our VIP patrons. That's Alex Kopajans, Bill Burkle, Daniel Bryson, Jake Miller, Justin from Calvary Customs, Christian Tung, Malcolm from Bossa Nova Woodworks, Michael Flickinger, Michael Lydon, Scott Holland, Square Splinter, Tim from Lock City Woodworks. Y'all are dope.
Also, Daniel Dunlap is a VIP patron now. I don't know if you know that or not.
You're a VIP patron?
Yeah, I decided. It's a secret.
Decided.
Secret VIP patron.
Oh,
I
it's
also
unlisted.
decided
it's
I'm
not
a
even viewable in the admin console.
Yeah,
Right.
I'm a top tier patron for Shopsmith and Wood Whisperer.
I'm like that really rich, secretive philanthropist that donates money and doesn't tell anybody about it.
Oh, I get it. Dan's in a secret fifth tier.
Yeah, that's right.
Yeah.
Fifth tier of the VIP-ness. Anyway, big thanks to our triple VIP-ness members. You guys are amazing. No, I mean, we don't have a whole lot to talk about here, so I think we're just gonna get straight into it.
What's on my bench?
Whoa. I mean, might as well, right? I mean, there's no other. Actually, you know what? There is other things, but we'll do it after this. So, Dan, I want to hear about your week, dog.
Dog.
I'm still trying to write down.
Do you have double dog?
What's
3 minutes and 43 seconds.
Or 43. Okay.
Yeah, and that's fine. Like, I'm okay not stalling for you, Dan, if that's what.
No, it's fine. I'm good. I'm good. We can do this. This is what I do. I'm a word barnet, as we discussed in the pre-show. So one of my old videos. So I've been reposting videos and reels to Facebook because, as we talked about before, Facebook is paying out actually better than Instagram right now. So I'm trying to feed that beast currently. So I reposted a video that I posted. I think it's about 18 months old now at this point. It's the C table that I made for my sectional couch. You know, it's very simple. Well, we don't say the C word.
We don't see the same.
It's just that little C table that I made with box joints and put it on my sectional.
Censor yourself. Maybe change the name.
Trophy wife table.
That video. That video is currently like going viral-ish, I guess. It's got about 4 million views. And
viral?
You know,
them's COVID numbers. That's viral, baby.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. I'm pretty happy with it. So because it's going viral, you know, there are people in all sorts of camps on this. You know, that's stupid. You're brilliant. It'll never hold.
I mean, you're a brilliant idiot.
I've even posted the link to it on my Etsy page because I'm selling it through Etsy right now. And full transparency, I'm charging $375 for this thing.
I told you it's too much.
It's actually too low.
It's never going to hold.
It's too low, first of all. Secondly, okay, the never gonna hold thing, that really annoys me because the box joint is like one of the strongest joints you can make in woodworking. You know, aside from like a dovetail or somebody did a video recently where they were testing joints, and apparently the miter with
Hibs.
splines is
Those Hibs.
really strong. Anyways,
spline miters.
box joints are crazy strong because there's a lot of glue surface area. But what was I getting at?
It's weird that the internet would have stupid opinions about things they don't
Isn't
know
it, though?
anything about.
Who?
And Dan, but I
who-
can make that for less. Why would I
Yeah,
pay
of
your
course
prices?
you can. Then do it.
Yeah, exactly.
Those
Please,
people are
you
so
can make it
dumb.
for less. Do
Okay,
it.
then do. This isn't for you.
This is for the people that don't want to make it. So I'm charging a premium. And you know what? It's selling well. I've sold 10 in the last 2 weeks, I think.
Attaboy.
I think I've sold somewhere in the neighborhood of 15 since the beginning of the year. It's
Oh.
popping off. It's crazy.
If my math is correct, that's a lot of money.
It's it's doing okay.
Good.
Where was I going with this? I don't know.
Seems like you're just bragging.
just bragging.
Got a
over there.
viral video selling 15 tables. I don't know where I'm going. Anyway, good luck.
With flex, but okay.
My week's pretty good. My trail boss is paid off now. No. What was I saying? Oh yeah, there's a lot of commentary on the video, right? So I wanted to talk about that a little bit. I've already gotten into it. People are telling me I'm crazy for charging what I'm charging. Quite frankly, I'm not charging it enough. I think Mike would agree with that. I think Pete would even agree with that.
I was telling you that too. I also think you should offer payments. 3 easy payments.
3 easy payments of
Doesn't matter how
$199.
many. You have to make sure they're easy.
Right, just say easy.
7
They're
easy payments.
Actually, I think when you buy through Etsy, they offer a firm.
Yeah.
For any of the large purchases. Anyway,
Just listen to one easy payments of $375.
So yeah, I'm getting all kinds of comments on it. All from like it's not strong, which is ridiculous. It's ludicrous. That had never last a day in my house because of my kids. Well, first of all, maybe make your kids behave and not act like animals. Have you ever thought of that? That's a thing parents
So
do.
box joint. They just break it.
Right?
They can't
What are these
stand
people's
furniture.
kids doing? Running around the house just breaking everything? What the hell? You're charging way. I got a comment today that said, "What that makes no sense. It's 3 pieces of wood, and what your time is probably painting it." Tell me you don't know what you're talking about by without telling me you don't know what you're talking about.
Shuddered.
Painting
It
it?
takes a long time to make that pine look like walnut.
I'm
That's
telling
very
you.
tiny brush
So much
strokes.
primer.
Anyway, I'm going on a rant or a tangent here.
Well, we have a question about that thing. About
Oh,
comments.
yeah.
So
we do.
we could talk
do.
about it more.
So I've been making those, which is nice. I make them on the CNC now. I found a way to make them on the CNC, so it's actually nice. The CNC makes the box joints nice and tight. They're perfect. So that's easy to do. But you know what? I'm still charging the same amount. Anyway,
Same product.
I started working on a farmhouse table. I put together the top. The more I look at the walnut that I picked up for this top for this walnut or for this farmhouse
Oh, it was
table.
walnut?
Yeah, that looks like
Oh, I
Claro
don't
to
think-
me, dude.
Wait,
The way that
was Mike
there's
here
so
when
many.
you told us about the wood that they delivered you?
No, I didn't know you got in the wood.
Mike
Oh,
doesn't
yeah,
know
yeah,
about
yeah.
the wood. Tell him about the wood.
The clients. So like I was supposed to build this table with the top from wood that
They
clients
provided
brought
wood,
me.
right? It was like found
They
in
were
a shed.
Beautiful farm.
They were gonna provide
Nah.
wood from their old barn.
Hold on. Before you get into this, I'm going to say there's no way this is going wrong. I can't wait to hear about this because customer provided wood always goes well in
Yeah.
my experience. Go
But
ahead.
It's old
Look, I
barn
wanted
wood.
to entertain their dream. Okay.
No, this is going to be good. I can't wait to hear how nice this perfectly dried quarter sawn white oak was
Uh-huh.
they brought to you.
You're
Go ahead.
close. Actually, very close.
Very close.
Very close.
It was perfectly dry.
Plain sawn red oak.
No, not even that. That would have been a dream. This
no.
was like
It's a bunch
3/4
of
inch.
toilet paper glued together.
When
Also
this
close.
when this wood was first milled, it was probably 3/4 of an inch.
Oh,
So over the years, it's probably gotten down to like a 1/2 inch, and it's cedar.
cool. I'll make you some dope coasters. What would you like me to
Mike,
make the
did-
table
did you
out
hear
of?
the wood?
It was
Cedar?
cedar.
Yeah, of course it
So
is.
I'm like,
Half-inch
I'm
cedar
like-
top. Yeah,
I'm
put some
like-
C channel in that.
guys,
We'll,
you
we'll
guys,
be able to get a solid 17-inch span out of this. It's going to be nice.
they, she
One
was,
chair around each
she
side.
she was like heartbroken. I'm like, I can't. I'm going to be honest with you. This is unusable for a tabletop, for a
I'm
dining.
going to be honest
tabletop.
with you. You're a complete moron. I'm going to need you to get out of my shop.
You put a cup of water on there and it'll dent.
Yeah. So yeah, I talked him into walnut, and I picked through like a stack at my hardwood dealer, and man, this stuff looks like Claro. I'm telling you.
Oh, really? Nice.
It's gorgeous. You know how Claro has like streaks of like light brown and dark brown, and
I'm familiar.
It looks just like that. And there's a lot of purple in it. There's a lot of like character and undulations in the grain.
Claro walnuts, there's nothing
gorgeous.
Hits like Claro walnuts.
I'm not 100% sure it's Claro, but
clarified butter. Even better.
That's what I'm going to use for finish.
Actually. I knew this guy, a content creator, who did that in a live once. He made clarified butter.
Oh, yeah, tell me more.
I think he was trying to show someone up or something. I don't know. Some of the internet said he couldn't make butter or something. I don't know. He had to do it right away.
Weird. That's weird. Who would do that?
Weird.
So I started making the top on that. It's going to have breadboard ends on it. I'm not doing them traditional. I'm doing them domino-ish.
Whoa.
Which is going to be awesome. But I'm going to show a way, and I've been recording this, so I'm going to make a YouTube video out of it, even though Isaiah's not with me. It's going to be a very boring video, but maybe somebody will like it.
Listen, if I watched you assemble a bed, I'll watch anything.
You have problems, my friend. You probably need to see mental help.
I'm committed to our friendship. Through thick or thin.
I'll tell you what, I like you, Pete, but I wouldn't watch a video of you doing that. I wouldn't. I wouldn't subject myself to it. I absolutely would watch that. Yes. There you go. 100%. With my family.
OnlyFans.com/Petrie's Workshop.
I would have my whole family watch that with me. It would be a very nice family.
Well, joke's on you. It's like I'm like a Ken doll. It's just smooth. Nothing there.
So, what else? I had a lot of things I wanted to talk about, and then like as soon as I get hit with this "what's on my bench" thing, it all leaves my brain.
Side tables, Etsy's exploding.
Etsy's crazy right now. Yeah. It's insane. I've upped my Etsy ad money a little bit, which seems to be helping a lot, which is nice. Whenever I get Pete, you get a lot of people asking you, okay, help me figure out Etsy. What do you do? What can I do? Man, Etsy ad money is actually not a bad investment.
I like once a day at least I get a question about Etsy stuff, and I try to just send them to the video that I got.
I should start sending them to your video.
That was one of the reasons I did that video, and I just
look. If you were naked in the video, maybe I would, but you're not.
Joke's on you. I went full Winnie the Pooh. Yeah, I have a shirt on, no bottoms.
Bottomless. Nice. Is your fist in the honey pot? Yeah.
You know it was.
I'm sorry, that was weird. I apologize for everything. I think that's basically what's on my bench. We got a lot of snow today. That sucked.
Snow day.
Yeah, it was.
Done show notes.
Got like a full 8 inches. You know what I'm saying?
Nice.
Dan, show me 8 inches.
Oh, that's at least that. At least.
Wow. You did it the wrong way.
Oh, did I do it the wrong way?
At least 8 inches.
Every time you tell that story, the fish gets bigger.
Oh, anyway, standard response from here. Etsy orders keeping me busy. So I went into a little bit of detail last week on what that means, but I'm not going to do it again. If you want to hear about that, go listen to that episode. Yeah. Mike, what's up with you? You had a pretty adventurous week.
I was at the Festool event last week. That was really fun. They announced a bunch of new tools. We'll talk about that more in the questions area, but I've been a busy week. I've been kind of trying to focus on my mental sanity and health with things lately. I've been kind of
important.
I've been trying to teach myself to delegate things more and not try to have my hand in everything at all times, which is a bad habit of mine. Like a honey pot. Trying to keep my hand out of the honey pot. Mm-hmm. I don't like this. Where this is going. I don't. No.
I'm almost there.
No. So I'm just trying to right now there's I have this tendency to try to be involved in all the things, which is hard to not do because my name's on the company. So but I'm trying to not do that. So I'm trying to actually focus on I have a million things going on right now. It's tax season and I'm traveling a lot and there's a bunch of stuff and it's just super busy. And I've had some days where it's you know what, Sean and Matt can handle this stuff. I am going to just cut dovetails all day. And that's all I did for today and on Monday. And it's been actually really nice for my mental health to actually just do things for myself. So, because I end up working most weekends and pretty much every night, and it's just a lot of stuff. So on a day where it's like, oh, I can do this today, I'm going to just start taking advantage of that and try to be better about it. So
That's good.
and with that said, I'm also going to go to the woodworking show in Milwaukee tomorrow. I'm going to fly out there. It's kind of a last minute decision. There's a business reason for going out there, but also just kind of to clear my head and go out there and just kind of have a little trip and go out there. I've heard from multiple people that the shows are not great. So,
No, they're great.
We'll see.
Did you know that the actual way to say the name of that city is Milwaukee? It's from the Algonquin Indians or something like that. I'm sorry, I was trying to make a Wayne's World joke, and it was poor. It was poor on my part.
Execution was phenomenal.
Yeah, I'm gonna look up that
you
scene so I can.
I believed you wholeheartedly.
Yeah, I was gonna
Milwaukee.
in all my videos.
Isn't that the girl from?
Got all my Milwaukee.
Have you ever seen
tools.
that? Have you ever seen Wayne's World where Alice Cooper is telling Wayne and Garth how to say Milwaukee?
Milwaukee.
Sorry, go on.
This is one of the first one of the first things I ever owned on VHS in the US. Fun fact: Wayne's World. Solid first buy. Hey, if I'm going to start learning English, best place to do it. Right?
I'm going to start learning English. I'm learning from Wayne and Garth.
Yeah.
Well, that's.
I ruined Mike's what's on his bench.
Pete's. No. That's really good insight into Pete's origin story. It's nice. It's good to know where Pete learned most of his English. No, yeah. So I've been doing that this week. Also, had like a big contract negotiation thing yesterday, which was kind of stressful. It's like a big one, like the biggest one I've ever negotiated, kind of a thing. So it was kind of like interesting. So it's going to be like one of those slow things. It just takes months and months and months to deal with, but it just is what it is. So we're dealing with that. And then we're doing this dual miter waterfall desk for a client with it's like a 2-person desk. So it's going to be they're right next to each other, but there's going to be like a cabinet bank in the middle, which is cool. That's going to be a fun build. And then we got a vanity, which I've never done a bathroom vanity, but I've had this Mosaic software for a few months and I've dove in there a bit, but now I'm really getting it set up. Really impressed with Mosaic. It's so cool. Like I was able to design this vanity in minutes. I was able to send the customer like a frameless version, face frame with an inset, face frame with full overlay, partial. I was able to send all that stuff and like get them to choose, what they want. So it was really cool. Anyways, just been a busy week with that. And then we're doing a countertop right now, which is great. And what else? Oh, I'm starting my dining table, which is really exciting. Finally,
river table, right?
Yeah, I'm doing a big river table. It's actually only 3 board feet of wood and 73 gallons of epoxy. So it's going to be amazing. Yeah, it's just going to throw some twigs and some berries in there.
A river of epoxy, just going to toss some wood in it.
Yeah.
Oh, it's going to be the twig and berry table. No, it's
chain of island chain table. That's what you should call it.
Yeah. It's the U.S. Virgin Island table.
Yeah, it's just a bunch of little Virgin Islands.
It's like tiny little specks of wood in there. It's gonna be really nice.
I know you have to little plastic sharks. You gotta put them in a
right. It's gonna be. I'm going full epoxy table. It's gonna have sharks. There's gonna be sadness, some old French fries. It's gonna be great. No, it's gonna be English. It's gonna be an English elm table. I bought a bunch of English elm and. So I'm going to make an English elm table.
Hi, governor.
Hello.
Oh,
this is a table.
Totally forgot. Before you do that, you have to soak the sharks before you put them in epoxy.
Shark soaking?
You have to soak them. They're like corks.
It's just like a
or
cork.
Bullet casings. You also have to soak bullet casings before you put them in there.
I'll have to see if I can find anyone who's good at soaking cork. I'll reach out to the community, bring in a good cork soaker.
Go to WorkbenchCon. You can ask some questions.
Chad, right? Chad's he's like the OG cork soaker.
Yeah, I'm gonna get. I was trying to work a Chad joke in there, but I feel bad making that joke like every 2 weeks on the show.
We love him.
No. Anyways, what else is there? I'm doing another farmhouse table too, and it actually is Claro walnut.
You're gonna shave off your beard too? What are you doing?
Yeah,
what are you doing over
I'm
here?
shaving on my beard, moving into bow ties. No,
2/4 cedar.
Yeah, it's 2/4 cedar. No, it's actually a Claro walnut. It's going to be a 6-foot farmhouse table, 40 inches wide, but it's going to have 2 leaves. 18 inches long. So I'm actually going to be using the Rockler hardware for that.
Interesting. I have to put leaves in the one I'm making too, but I'm going to do it a little different, I think.
The
Have you tried
Rockler hardware
carving it out and filling it with epoxy?
Yeah, they're going to be epoxy
making
leaves
epoxy slides
with sharks. I don't. It's a very unique idea.
Bring out the shark leaves. No, this is going to be like a split apron with spreader with this. The Rockler hardware is like $200. It does like it can span up to 56 inches and like holds a ton of weight. So I went with those ones. They're just get the job done easily. So I'm going to go with those. And then we're doing a bench with it too. So
nice.
And then I'm picking up a pile of stuff on Tuesday. Monday, I'm going to take the day off because I'm just going to relax. But Tuesday, I'm picking up a bunch of English walnut because we're doing a bunch of boxes, grounding boxes. I'm picking up a big Claro walnut slab for a dining table for a client. I'm picking up a big walnut slab for myself because I'm finally making myself a nice desk. Finally, I'm very excited. I'm going to do like it's like a 3-inch thick maple with a mitered waterfall on the right here, like up against this wall. And on the left side, it's going to have a cabinet in there. I'm just really excited to have like a nice desk finally. I end up working so much. What's up?
Hear me out.
If you say epoxy.
No. You're just gonna have a miter on one side?
Yeah, just the one side. The other side's gonna be like a floating cabinet.
Do 2 miters on one side. So like instead of 45, do it 22.5 times 2. So like it kind of goes.
It's like I'm running like ducting in my shop or something.
Yeah,
like to get around a corner.
No hard.
That would be cool.
No hard.
That would not be cool.
Telling you,
Mike. Have you thought about just a sweep?
Yeah, just like a long sweep. I just have power carve out like 18 inches thick of wood. No, you know who does that?
Now we're getting somewhere.
Kidwell, if you guys don't know, follow Kidwell.
Oh yeah, he did the
guy
finger
makes
joints.
Yeah, and then he rounds it. That guy is
that
so
looks
talented.
sick.
He makes such good stuff. It's sick.
Yeah, I follow him.
Cool.
That looks awesome. The latest one he did.
Yeah, he does some dope stuff. He's really talented dude. But anyway, yeah, so I got the desk. There's some other stuff. But anyway, it's just really busy right now. It's always really busy. It's great. I'm lucky for that. We got this big, like I said, I'm negotiating this big project right now, and we're getting another PO for Redwood cookies. That's starting the monthly cadence this month. So we'll be having a monthly cadence of Redwood cookies. So we're out of all the marketing stuff anyway. So that's gonna be good. And that's kind of all that's going. I mean, there's a bunch of other stuff, but I'm dragging on. And
you never have much going on. You really need to up this.
Slow week, Mike. Slow week.
I know.
Get tired of hearing the same.
I did want to talk about. This is like a what's on my bench, and this is like an interesting like business thing. I never really go into these business things, but so I have a contract with Room and Board. We're doing these shelves, and interesting thing that happened is they are standardizing all their finishes within their furniture line in the company. So they're moving from fabricator choice. So whoever's making the furniture gets to choose the finish to everyone who has worked with them has to use the finish they've chosen. Fortunately for me, they've moved to Diamond Vogel, which I've already done with my shop.
Nice.
They moved. So I submitted them samples and they're like, hey, we got the samples. These look great. Unfortunately, we're going to need new samples because we need this to be in Diamond Vogel's Equinity. I'm like, I got good news for you. That is Diamond Vogel's Equinity product. That's what you got. So that's the product. So they're already like but they're getting their own custom colors. So it's just kind of like a peek behind the scenes, like dealing with corporate stuff. Like they don't, they're the client, but they're also not the people buying it. They're also not like involved in the design. They also don't know anything about the assembly. So you're dealing with people who don't know, they know the product line, but they don't know the processes of it at all. So, you just have these weird conversations with, not weird, it's just conversations you have with people that don't know about the fabrication process at all. And you have to kind of explain it to them. But yeah, we're kind of in the middle of this like rejiggering of the finishes over there. What's up?
And you're not typically dealing with one person, are you, Mike? You're dealing with like a chain of people.
A team.
No, like each project. So the 2 different projects I do with them, the email chain for each one has at least 6 people at a time on it. So it's like, but for the most part, it's pretty organized. It's just slow because they're a big business. One person will handle the finishes, one person will handle logistics, one person will handle ordering, one person will handle inventory. But all the people involved in that team for that program are on that chain. So I could be in the same chain and answering 4 different people's questions from different emails. So you have to really keep track of it. It's a lot of administrative stuff. So, but that's that's kind of an interesting one where it's like, I got lucky that the product that I'm moving my shop to personally is the product that they're actually using, because I just, people are going to ask me like, why aren't you going to use Target Coatings? And I honestly have Target Coatings had some issues last year during some supply chain issues with raw materials, and there was failures with their product. He made it right. I since then have had no issues with their finishes. Just want to be clear about that. Like, I've had no issues. Diamond Vogel, I can just get quicker because it's not in New Jersey. That's literally the main reason why I went to it. Like yeah, exactly. And finishes can't be shipped air. They have to be done ground because they're hazardous materials, and nothing can be shipped air when it's hazardous materials. So it comes slow. So the stuff I get now comes from Los Angeles, and it's just way faster. What's up?
I was going to make a poor joke about
I was hoping you wouldn't make it. Oh, I was thinking about coming slow. Anyway, so
that's not the problem I have.
Oh no.
No worry, milady.
No, you're not done yet?
No, yeah, so just kind of weird, like not weird. It's not even that weird. It's just like one of those things you don't think about. You know, you have these conversations and you move into these things and things change, and there's so many moving parts. You're like, oh, you have to, all these things become minutia, and they're like, they kind of like slow down
there's
the
a word
process.
I'm looking up later.
Okay. They like slow down the process of just like, you kind of just want to make something, you know, you just want to make something, and you have to answer all these questions. It's just kind of like peeking.
You got lucky. They could have just emailed you and been like, we're going to need new samples. We're moving to rattle can lacquer.
Right.
Everything.
We're moving to rattle can mid-wax.
You just find that it's the best results.
Literally no one's ever said we're moving to min-wax. Anyway,
so you had mentioned going to the woodworking shows.
Yeah.
Thank you. Ballpark close enough. I'll accept it.
All right.
My Polish best friend Paul Jackman would agree.
As long as Paul approves.
Yeah, no, my Polish friend. So I went to the woodworking
What would
shows.
Jackman do?
WWJD.
JD.
Yeah, that works. Oh, Dan, you got a vanity plate. That's another thing for you.
Oh, yeah.
Oh, yeah. I'll add
What would Dan Dunlap do? That's what it says on there.
What would Dan do? So I did realize that when people are, is it lowercase or uppercase, right? It is uppercase, right?
It's
yeah,
uppercase.
it's all uppercase. Okay. I was gonna
Say
say, if it was lowercase like on your hat, it would be reversed in people's mirrors. So it'd be, you know, something to think about.
Oh, I see.
Oh, yeah.
Okay.
Yeah. But anyways, so the woodworking shows. I went with Keith, and we met up with Justin from Campfire Woodworks, and we're just kind of hanging out, walking around the event. And I mean, I kind of hate to say it, but it was like really a skeleton of what it used to be. It was, they still had their little like flea market area, which was a little smaller, but like the only like major brand that like, we knew was like Sawstop and oh my God, Woodpeckers. Jesus, my mind's not working today.
Woodpeckers, Jesus.
Woodpeckers, Jesus, and yeah, Jesus Tools, and of course Sawstop were there with the hot dog demo as always. That, by the way, that same guy.
Like, get a new bit. It's like been 12 years, guys. Come up with something.
I was just thinking that. Who
like slam a grilled cheese sandwich on there or something. I don't know, just something else.
That's
the jelly donut.
That was my first takeaway. I walk up to the booth, and the same guy is doing demos. The same guy that's been there.
It's just Ethan slamming a hot dog on there.
He wasn't there. I was disappointed.
Okay.
But it's the same guy
that's
been doing the demos for Sawstop.
If you want to impress me, throw your actual hand in there. Come on.
Yeah.
Just really
smash it down like you're trying to whack a mole or something.
So dumb.
Really prove to me that your technology works. Come on.
There was some brands there that like there's General, which apparently he's done doing insurance.
Still around? That's crazy.
He's doing insurance and power tools now.
Call 1-800 General now.
1-800 General Tools now.
General's been around since like the 20s or something. General's been around forever.
Green Tools? Are they still green? Carry them now?
They're still green. And like
no, that's General Machinery. That's totally different company.
Oh, that's different. Yeah, was, like, we don't go there.
Different about their tools is they had a fence that like you could punch in the number and it like moved along rails for you.
Yeah.
A fence. I thought you meant they took a fence.
No, with the things I had to say, probably. But the thing is, like,
they took a fence when I moved their fence. What?
It said do not touch, so of course touched it. But the problem is like this was not advertised, I feel like, on social media that well. I feel like there wasn't really a big push. Like people weren't hyping it up like WorkbenchCon or whatever. So it wasn't a shock to me that when we went to the show, it was, and I'm quoting Justin here, a sea of old men. Just a sea of men. Like it was.
Wait a minute.
Old men.
I shouldn't be laughing at that.
It's sea of Dans. But no, literally, it was kind of more marketed towards like the traditional woodworkers, the old school guys. Like it was, I can probably count on all the digits on my body the number of people my age I saw there. Yes, 21. Okay, to answer your question, Dan. It really wasn't a lot of young people, and it was kind of a bummer. Like we saw a few people that like followed Keith, Justin, and myself, so we all just kind of chatted. Some people that we knew, and by some I mean like 2 people we bumped into. Little bummed. I kind of wish it was marketed better, so it was like a bigger event because I was really looking forward to it. It's there's not too many woodworking events that we really have, so I was kind of hoping that this one would be a little bigger. But
have you heard of the one in Milwaukee?
Milwaukee? Well, we'll see. Well, hopefully
Isn't that
one's
the girl
better.
from Stranger Things? Milwaukee Brown.
Her name is 11.
Oh, okay. That's all right.
That
was an okay joke. It's fine.
But aside from that, what else did I do? Doing a lot of laser projects right now. I have a laser job that
Must be nice.
Yeah. Mike, yours is out of commission, right?
Mm-hmm.
So I've been tuning mine a little bit because I was getting some inconsistent cuts. I cleaned all my mirrors and all that. And Mike was giving me some tips on getting different lenses for it. So I got to look into doing that. But the thing was, I've been trying for months now. Like even harder for me to get than 1/8" Baltic birch is the 1/8" walnut ply, which I know is a thing. I've seen it. I've had it in my shop before. I cannot get it anywhere, like absolutely anywhere. The only thing I can do is like order it from like, Glowforge or like pre-finished sites, and they're marked up like crazy. And most of them are pre-finished, which I don't want. I just want it raw wood. So this is for a finishing company. So they want walnut to show off their finish when it's applied. It's like a
They want to put their finish on it.
Exactly. So
makes sense.
I've been going back and forth with all these different lumber yards in the area and outside the area, even a couple hours away. And haven't been able to get it. So I finally just got my hands on some 1/4" ply. We decided to just go with that. I got it, and it turns out it was one-sided walnut ply instead of double-sided walnut ply, which is awesome. But the customer luckily was cool with it. They're like, okay, it's Baltic birch on the back, so it'll look okay. Like it'll still look good, and the logo will be there. Then I go to cut it on a laser, and it's the 2 veneers on both sides, and then like it's not MDF, it's like wood pulp. Yeah. It's just wood pulp on the inside, and no matter how many passes I do or what,
OSB
even the cleanest cuts I can get on it, the faces look beautiful.
80/20 glue wood
charred. Yeah, it's like it's super charred, so I wouldn't be able to hand that over and be proud of it. It just wouldn't look good. So after going back and forth a bunch, we decided that he's just going to go with straight walnut. I'm going to resaw a bunch of it, clean it up.
I mean, if you're trying to show off finish, that seems like the best way to go anyway.
We were trying to save money because it's I don't care. I'll show you. It's basically going to be like $1 a coin for like between all the labor and everything and lasering and all that because of the intricate design and stuff. So I don't know. That's what
is it. This company?
No.
Oh,
get waxed. No, but it's just it's
it's
a bummer that there's still materials that you can't get.
Is that a price you're comfortable with? Because I'll just send people to you. $1 a coin?
Not necessarily.
Okay, yeah, I wouldn't.
At this point, this is one of those things where this has been going back and forth so much, and it was all like material not being able to be found.
You're just taking care of the customer at this point.
I'm taking care of the customer at this point, exactly. Because if I had to like quote this straight out, this would be more than that. And like
I usually do $2.50 a coin with that, but we always have like tons of shops on veneered in the woodshed. There's just piles of it, and I don't even have anything to do. I don't know what to do with it half the time, except for like veneers, obviously, but like we're not doing a ton of veneers. So
and
like
the veneers I was able to get
have
like super thin. Really
I have
thin
like
stuff.
One of those husky racks, the black husky racks.
Yeah. Literally
the entire thing is full of maple, walnut, English elm, cherry, like hardwood veneers that are anywhere from 3 3/16, or from 3/16 up to a half inch.
Veneers.
Yeah. A veneer that's just
3/16.
it's a 3 inch. 3 inches thick.
We just call that 12 quarter.
It's 15 quarter inch veneer.
Yeah, it's a plank. It's plank veneer. It's a new thing. So no,
But see,
yeah.
The other issue was like, and I only found this out. So this is a brand that's going to be. I mean, I don't care. I'll share. It's for Bumbleshoots.
That's this. I got this from Bumbleshoots.
But it's for Bumbleshoots, and they were going to have it, to my knowledge, at their booth.
Bumblebee tuna
and finish and whatnot. And then I find out yesterday that these are going into goodie bags, and I was like, I would not have ever even thought about handing over the other material to you. Like, I need to make sure this is good because it's going to have both of our names on it.
The swag bag that they give out, right?
Yeah. So, so basically that's that. So that's
gonna get a little touch of Pete in there.
a little touch of Pete. Everyone's gonna get a little Pete in bags. So, anyways, that's that. Fun little thing. I bought a bunch of plywood, and I can't use it for lasering, but at least it's some. I got rift sawn white oak plywood, veneered plywood, and it's like really pretty. So I was. Not
I got an idea. Hear me out here. Edge grain, cutting boards with that.
I love it. Yeah. So just glue up all the faces, the pretty faces. You want just the mulch.
Yeah. But you can make it to where the faces are on the outside, so it's on the edge.
Yeah.
And then you get the nice OSB filled top.
And then I want to just CNC it out and then epoxy.
Yeah.
Fill it in.
You're welcome.
These are all good ideas.
Business decisions with Dunlap.
So anyways, that's just one of the projects for the laser. I have a bunch of ideas that I gotta get out. I've been working on. I've been trying to make my own designs and play around with the tolerances to make sure that stuff fits tightly when you're assembling it. So I've been dialing into laser. That's been a lot of fun actually to get all that stuff figured out. And aside from that, I'm working on some display stands that I need to get for a buddy of mine. So I started work on those today. That's just like, it's literally going to be just pine and whatnot, but he's gonna get them painted somewhere else. I don't have to deal with that, luckily. But we need to make him custom for the stuff that he sells, because he does these like fairs and events. And I have an event coming up in just a couple of weeks. Actually, this is on the 25th, whatever, like the 3rd week of March. So I need to make a bunch of cutting boards. I'm down to like maybe 4 or 5 cutting boards. I got to make more. And perfect thing happened today. Keith stopped by today because I cut a template for him on a laser. And he brought me all of his trash, all the trash walnut.
One man's trash is another man's cutting boards.
And this is like, 8-quarter walnut by like 2, 3, 4 inches, whatever. Some good pieces. I could just take all of them, glue them up, and have a bunch of small serving boards that
That's coffee veneer.
Yeah, there you go. So I'm pretty excited. I'm gonna use a bunch of that. Some of it is checked and crappy, so I'm gonna be tossing it. I'll be pretty selective. I want to make sure.
Why you gotta hate check people like that?
Oh yeah, because they know what they did. But basically, I'm gonna channel my inner Dunlap and Keith Johnson and just burn some walnut, because why not?
There you go.
Very exciting. And aside from that, just been Etsy, man. Etsy it's weird. It's fluctuating. We're talking about this in a pre-show where some weeks like you won't sell a thing for like months, and then out of nowhere in 1 week you'll sell like 5 or 6 of them, which that just goes to show you that if Etsy puts it in front of enough people's eyes, that stuff will sell. When people are like, oh, my stuff's not selling, like it's just not getting to the people that want to buy it, because there's people that want to buy it. If Etsy just put one product in your shop in front of everyone, like in a community, you would get hundreds of sales easily. So like there's always someone looking to buy the stuff you got. You never know when it's going to happen. Just sometimes it's the luck of the draw. Sometimes it's just a post like Dan doing the video on Facebook and it blew up.
Yeah, that's why we've said this before, always be listing, always be throwing up a listing.
ABL. Exactly.
It's 20 cents for a listing. Put it up. You never know.
Unless,
it might not sell now. It might sell 4 months from now.
I haven't paid for a listing in like 2 months now, because people keep using my sign up for Etsy 40 free listings link. Oh. So they get 40 free listings. I get 40 free listings. So I know it's only like $8 per each sign up, but I haven't paid for a listing.
Hey,
that's
in
months.
That's a check beer.
That check math checks out. There you go. Anyways, that's all I got. Let's get into questions.
Let's do it.
Oh, do we do questions here?
We do. Well, we do the answers. We have the people call in with the questions.
Oh, correct.
Where are they? Oh, here's one.
I only want them if Michael Holmes is the first one.
Well,
he's not.
It's Mark Alms, so you're in deep doo-doo.
Hey, Pete, Dan, and Keith. I mean, Mike. Sorry, I get confused after the latest couple episodes. Anyway, this is the Walmart version of Michael Alm calling in again, Mark Alms. I have a question specific to Instagram. At this point in time, do you see any business value from the platform currently, or do you continue to post simply due to the community and personal side of the application? And also, Pete, I know you've been updating the audience on your rapid growth over the last few months. Are there any primary contributors to this that you've attributed that to? Just curious. Cheers, guys.
Dan, what you got?
I don't see a whole lot of value from Instagram as far as business opportunities. I'm certainly not making any sales from over there, and if it is, it's kind of minimal. I do get a few people ask me about inserts or whatever, but I'm not even making a whole lot of money off the Reels bonus over there now, so I'm focusing more in that regard over on Facebook. But I continue to post over there because it's fun, and I do enjoy the community. I enjoy the woodworking community and the maker community, so I like to stay involved as much as I can. I certainly could involve myself a little better, but time is precious and it all takes time. So what about you, Pete? What do you feel? You've been crushing it over there lately, so.
Yes, I hit a wave. Well, let me start with the first part of it, which is I think Instagram can provide a ton of business value depending on what you do. For example, if you do woodworking projects and that's what you sell on Etsy or other places, Facebook Marketplace, doesn't matter. But your Instagram page is you messing around in a shop and just like kind of the stuff I do, just shop projects, whatever I'm working on at the time. It's not really going to lead you to get a lot of customers. Your friends and family and people that follow you are going to support you. But unless you're like my audience, a lot of them are other people in garages and shops that like to see the process. So when I make a tool or an accessory for a tool, that's my customer base. Right. So I'm actually getting a good amount of traction from that. Is it a ton? Absolutely not. But it's enough. Like I'll do a post, or sometimes somebody will get a package of mine. They'll do an unboxing and a story. I'll repost it and I'll sell that exact same thing that same day. So like it does have some value. People will buy the stuff. Sometimes they're just like, oh yeah, I meant to get that. Or like,
I agree with that. That's a good point.
There is some value. But it also, you have to think about what you're doing. Like now my business even more is becoming content and the product. Like that's just another department of what I do here, like for all of us. So the content part of it, like, yeah, having the followers, having the views, that's all good credit to have to bring to a conversation with a brand that's going to say like, well, he's got good influence. He has great engagement. He's got a lot of views on his videos. Like that's a resume, however you look at it. So whether it's, 1,000, 2,000, 100,000, like you have some kind of level of authority to use your Instagram as basically a negotiating chip. And as far as the growth, I went from 44,000 in December to now I just hit 92,000. And it's finally leveled off. I'm now seeing negative numbers. It's the hump is finally.
As long as you don't pass me, it's all good.
Exactly. I'm working on it. I'm working on it. But
you pass me, my mood will change.
I essentially had a video pop off. It ended up hitting 1.2 million at the time. But because that one was popping off, I was posting aggressively every single day and being consistent. And then one of those videos popped off that I think ended up hitting 22 million. And then as I was continuing to post, I had a third video hit just past 33 million, which is bonkers numbers.
That your feet video?
Yeah, this stupid foam cutting. There's people arguing on it left and right. It's hilarious.
That's what you want, though. You want people arguing.
You do, and
you want contention in the comments.
Never felt more like Daniel Dunlap than like reading those comments and only responding to the snarky ones or people I like, but like just being able to like respond back, slightly snarky right back. But and first it was like excitement. I'm growing. Second was like, oh, like I don't deserve this. This isn't how I wanted to like grow my account. I wanted to grow it with good content. Now with just something popping off. But then I was like, no, you know what? If you average out the amount of hours I've put into all of this over the last 5+ years, like, you know what? It's come due. So I'll take the success and just do something good with it. So, but yeah, Instagram I think is totally worth it. Mike, what do you think?
I don't think Instagram's worth it anymore. I don't like for my time. It's like right now with my business, I have a thing that's making me money, and then I have things that don't make me money. And there's things I want to invest time into. The thing with Instagram is the community is the best community on Instagram. Like there's no better community than the community on Instagram. Also, I have a lot of sweat equity into Instagram, so it's really hard to just be like, I'm done.
It's taking time.
On a business, from a business standpoint, it's just not making money. It just doesn't. It's my time. It's very hard to split my time right now. It's very hard to justify things. If it's one of these weird patches where Instagram is just not serving up my post, it's just simply not worth 30 minutes to get a post up. It's just not worth it. If it's not getting in front of people, I mean, for me as a business owner whose livelihood depends on my time into my business, this business that I'm talking about right now, my furniture business, it is not worth my time. It's just not. Things have to make me X amount of dollars per hour to make sense anymore. That's just my life. So they just have to. Instagram doesn't bring me much work, but Instagram does close jobs for me. Sometimes I'll get into an email conversation and randomly towards the end, customer will be like, whoa, I just saw your Instagram. That's really great. Next email, quote is approved. So they'll see things like that and go, okay, this person it validates a little bit, whether or not that's good or bad. It does sometimes. But in terms of it bringing in work, it does bring in content work. But it's really hard I get paid brand deals. Full stop. I get paid brand deals and they're good. They're good money. There's good money. People will say things about content who don't make money on content, which is very weird to me that people will make comments about brand deals and sponsorships and stuff when they don't actually do that. So I don't really understand how that becomes a thing for some people when they don't actually do that. So for me, that part of it does make sense. So I do that. I keep an active thing there because it brings in, I have contracts and I have retainers with several brands where I need to post a couple times or once a month with it for them. That is a business thing. So yes, from that standpoint, yes. But from the pure, should I post to Instagram for the Instagram's sake? I don't see any value in it anymore. It's really hard for me. I don't see it being a value. And it's too inconsistent. The algorithm they change it too much. It's too much of a, no one wanted reels. They just have thrusted reels on us as hard as they possibly could. And it's completely changed the entire landscape of Instagram. You're either doing nothing or you're doing a ton, and you're probably not doing a ton very often. You're probably mostly doing nothing. So it's just too all over the place. And it's really hard from a business standpoint to go to have a brand be like, hey, we'd like you to do this post. What kind of stuff are you going to get? Well, it's like, well, shoot, in October, I had a video did 37 million views. But this month, I'm barely breaking 6K on views. Like, I don't know what's going, like, you just can't explain it. It's like, what's happening? Like, how is it not, how can it be this inconsistent of a platform? So as a business owner and from a business person standpoint, I don't think it's worth it. Honestly, I'm actively pivoting myself to YouTube. Also, YouTube might not be worth it. I feel like that's not going to be the case, but I'm actively doing that. I have a partnership with a guy and we're actively chasing YouTube hard. And we're trying to figure out our voice over there and trying to figure it out. Like, I'm putting a lot of time into that because I think there's a future there for us. I have put nothing on TikTok in months. I don't care about TikTok. The money there is a joke. Like, having a big account is valueless unless you're making money off of it. That's my opinion. Having a big company is valueless unless you're making money off of it. None of it matters unless you're making money. Like, having 200,000 subs or followers, having 100,000 subs. If there's a guy who has 10,000 followers and he's crushing the income, that guy's beating out the person with 3 million followers who's making nothing. That's the bottom line. Like, the bottom line is the bottom line. And if there's no money being made, it's just not worth it. Now, is it fun? Yeah, it's fun. Yeah. Instagram's really fun. Like, I love talking to people. I've been having some pretty bad back pains for the last few weeks, and I started talking about it a few days ago. And I haven't had as much engagement on Instagram as what's the seat cushion coaches or whatever. These people or doctors are coming out of the woodwork all of a sudden with solutions to my back problems, which is appreciated.
Armchair quarterbacks,
armchair doctors, which is really appreciated. Like, I mean, there's a lot of back pain in the world. A lot of people have a lot of opinions on that.
It's because Instagram, our communities, is basically a sea of old men. We all have bad
so
backs.
it's just like, you know, it's great. That wasn't me dogging on that. I just thought it was funny that like I really got all this feedback about back pain, you know, and it's really cool. It's a cool thing to have that. Business side, it's just not worth it. I just don't see it being worth it unless you're actually getting paid for posts, which I am. So that is worth it. But if you're not, I don't see what the value is.
I think it's also important to distinct, like obviously Instagram's one thing, but there's 4 platforms out there that all take the exact same media and they all want the exact same media. So you can make content. Don't just think of it as like making Instagram content. Like, no, you make the content and you post it on Instagram, TikTok, Facebook, YouTube Shorts, and one of them might pop off. Like that's, you know,
just because it's doing bad on one doesn't mean
help validate yourself.
But ultimately though, if it's not making you money, it's not worth it. Like it may pop off, but it popping off doesn't. All I'm saying is that you can have a viral post.
With it is important because you got to take it somewhere. You can't just like have a big page and you don't reach out to brands or anything.
It goes back to business acumen. Yeah. The bottom line is if you don't know how to run a business or take advantage of the situation and seize the moment, you won't make money off of it. You can't be afraid in the moment to not seize the moment. If you have like a post go off, you can get these reels in shorts and whatever Facebook calls them. I guess they're reels over on Facebook too. You can take the money that they give you and they'll pay you. Like Pete, you made like what, $2-3 grand or something from that video or something like that.
Facebook,
like good money
right now.
That's good money. Like that's just no one's gonna be like, that's not good money. That's
but if I make a Facebook
money.
post, I might as well just toss it on Instagram and the other platforms.
I'm not arguing with you at all.
Yeah,
100%.
That's all I'm saying.
If you're doing content, do it. But if it's not making you money, it's not making you money. That's all I'm saying. And Instagram, like the last time I've had a post do really well was whenever IWF was.
Mm-hmm.
You know what I mean? Like that's when you were too, right, Dan? Same?
Right.
Like right around then? Yeah. It's just like, how do they expect us to justify this without brand deals?
Inconsistency with Instagram makes it hard to want to keep putting content on it just for the sake of putting content on it.
Yeah,
For instance,
I'm straight up just
I posted a reel on there 9 hours ago. Okay. It's only got 3,500 views. That might be good for some people, but I have 105,000 followers, which are legit followers from what I understand. I've never paid for followers. Let's get that out there. But it has 3,500 views and I have 105,000 followers. Let's say half of them only seen it. I should have at least 52,000 views. I mean, come on, Mike's right. That's ludicrous. So
it
is a little hard to want to do it, but at the same time, you know, like what's Pete saying, I mean, it's just another cog in the wheel. So make the content, put it out on all the platforms and see what hits.
I feel like you get that on every platform too. Like sometimes I'll post something on Facebook or YouTube and it'll have like views in the teens. I'm like, the last 5 videos got like 8,000, 5,000, 6,000 views. And this is like double digits. The hell? It's all
nobody knows how it works.
It's worth it if you make it worth it.
I think but is that happening? Like, is there money is there really money come in from that? That's the thing. Like, is money's that coming in,
Pete, but not from
Pete,
Instagram.
My point is like, Pete, how you just had that video do really well and you made good money. That is dope. Has it been worth it for the last year? I mean, when it's not doing well, I don't think it is. Like right now, it's not worth my time. And I have brand deals, so that makes it worth it to me because I need to satisfy those agreements. But if I don't have the brand deals, it's literally just monetarily not worth it if you're not making money. That's what I'm saying.
If your Instagram audience is your customer base as well, it's helping you cast a wider base potentially. Obviously, not all those people that are like following up if you have something pop off are going to be people that are actually your customers, but hey, every little bit helps.
That's a really very true hypothetical. Yes. Obviously, if your customers are your Instagram following, then yes, but that's not the case in woodworking. The bottom line is like the majority of your base is woodworkers at some level for the most part. And then the rest are people who want entertainment. So you've got whatever your percentage of people who can, in theory, do the thing you're making. So they're right off the bat, not your customers. They're going to be the people who be like, I could do it for $300, Dunlap. For $375, you're a monster.
No, 50. I could do it for $50.
It's the conversation we said earlier was, I don't concern myself with the opinions of people who will never be my customer about my pieces. They literally will never be. I love the engagement. thank you, super dumb person that I'll never meet in my whole life. Really, thank you very much. But like that comment and the engagement is the engagement making you money. And it's like, this is a conversation I just had last weekend. It's like someone was making the point, yeah, Instagram's worth it because if I spend time answering those comments, then I get more engagement. But engagement in and of itself does not pay you more money. The only thing that pays you more money is hitting 35 million views on Instagram. So that's where it's like, anyway, it's just two different trains of thoughts. I'm just Pete's 100% right on your
You're
point.
right too.
Or,
yeah, like you gotta make it worth it.
I mean, for me, I'm just at a point where like I have to make every hour of my day make me money because that's just my job. But yeah, like I won't, with everything I just said, I'm not hopping off Instagram because I just love the platform and the people on there. Also, making a furniture business does not make sense on paper either, by the way. like there's just not a ton of money in it. Like I could be selling
bring
like
in customers just like everything else.
It's like there's way more money in like owning like a cleaning company, unfortunately, but who has a passion for that? Some people might. Anyway, the next question is
Mr.
from
Clean.
Michael Alms. No, this is from Daniel Taylor, Dunlap Woodworks.
What's up, guys? It is the Daniel Taylor calling in once again. First order of business. Tell Keith that he absolutely killed the introduction last week. Pete, you're fired.
Good on with the job anyways.
Second, Pete, nice try.
We love you,
trying
Pete.
to do my accent. Unfortunately, you weren't even close, dude.
Spot on.
Maybe on your way to WorkbenchCon, if you're going through Kentucky, stop by. I'll give you some lessons.
And some bourbon.
Third, the big question is that, everybody was kind of going back and forth on, Mike, were you the big spoon or were you the little spoon? Now that we've seen that he is your Patrick Swayze.
Unchained Melody, baby.
I'm kind of guessing little spoon. Anyways, real order of business. You guys have talked about shipping a little bit recently, and my question is, how do you go about figuring in that shipping amount in the quote for a piece of furniture for a customer? For example, Dan, when you shipped the bed a couple weeks ago, how did you go about figuring that price into your quote ahead of time? And Mike, I know you ship a lot of big things quite often. So how do you go about figuring that out? I appreciate your time. I will talk to y'all later.
Dan, could you elaborate on how you shipped your pants? I mean, your bed.
Ship the bed.
Ship the bed.
Well-
Ship the pants too.
I shipped the bed originally about 6 years ago, and I haven't been able to sleep in the bed since.
Right. Just leave it.
Yeah. No, but honestly, hold on. Let me touch on this first. Pete,
Touch it, baby.
Oh,
Pete's
Pizza.
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 pizza,
I love pizza.
Casey's.
Pizza's great. Ugh.
Pete's rendition of Daniel Taylor was spot on. I don't know what he's thinking, but take him up on the Kentucky thing because that's where bourbon country is. So anyway, basically, I just kind of I guesstimated because I'd never shipped one of those beds before, first of all, but I guesstimated because I knew what parts it was going to be because I had made one before. So I kind of guesstimated the boxes, and I just went to Pirate Ship and I put in all my what I thought I was going to be shipping, and turns out I was pretty close. I charged the client $250. It ended up costing me $213. So as long as you kind of know the overall shape and size, you can figure it out. I mean, I shipped a couple of those C tables to San Francisco last year or the year before. And I searched for a freight broker, and I think Mike will talk about that here in a sec. So it's pretty simple. It really is. And since I invoked Michael's name, let's hear what he has to say.
First of all, Jason and I bounce back and forth between who's big and little spoon. I
don't believe that. I really don't believe that.
Power bottom spoon.
Yeah.
He's taller than you. It just makes sense logically,
I don't know.
logistically, that
he's
you're
a
the
big
small.
He's a bigger
You're the
man
small
than I am,
spoon.
physically.
Yeah. Plus your
shipping
beard rubbing
is-
on his neck. I don't know.
He likes that. He won't admit it, but he likes it. We'll get up a couple beers in him at WorkbenchCon, and he'll admit to the beard thing.
Oh.
Beard,
all
neck beard. I don't know. where this is going.
Beardisms.
Neck beard? No, Nick Brim. Nick Brim. No, we got there's so many resources to find the cost of shipping all over these days, like you should really just not have any excuse when you get done with the project. Be like, oh, this ended up costing way more than I thought, because you can call a bunch of freight brokers and you don't have to have an account with them. If you do get an account with them, typically they'll start working with you and you'll start getting better and better prices as you work with them more. Like the first time you're ever a customer with them, they're going to be like, they're going to hit you with their highest margins to make the most money off you, because you may not ever come back. But as you start coming back more, they're going to be like, okay, this person's a regular customer. Let's take care of this person. And you get a little bit better customer service. But there's, Pirate Ship and Ship Nerd. They are great. You should, when you're building the project and thinking of, or when you're not building, excuse me, that's way too late. When you're pricing the project, you should have an idea about how you are getting it to this client in your price already. You should not be figuring that out at the end of the job. That is stupid and you're screwing up. So stop it.
I've made that mistake before. Don't do it.
Yeah. You literally need to be like, that's why I have my spreadsheet on my website that I sell for $7.99. But the spreadsheet has all the steps on there. And it's like, from all the way from sanding to packing up the piece, it reminds you that, oh yeah, I've got to figure out how to get this to the client. And then you go your due diligence, which is whatever. If it's going to be in a 20 by 20 by 20 box and you think it's going to weigh 40 pounds, go on Ship Nerd, because that's probably going to be cheaper on Ship Nerd. If it's going to be in a 16 by 16 by 4 box and it's going to weigh 7 pounds, it's probably going to be cheaper on Pirate Ship. Those are just kind of things you learn over time if you ship a bunch of stuff. So, but you should know that price, and just keep in mind that price of that piece of paper that goes on the box isn't the only cost of shipping, because you have to pack it up. You are supplying a box. If you have to crate it up, that's probably a half a day's labor for someone in either you or in your employee to make it. You can give, so you got to think about also the material to crate it.
Yeah.
I mean, you got like, plywood's probably $65 for 3/4 inch ply right now, depending on where you're at. So, you got to probably use, if it's a big table, you're going to need 3 sheets, maybe 5 sheets of plywood. So that's $300 just in plywood. Then 2x4s. You're looking at $400 just in material plus a half a day's labor. You're looking at 4 times, what is that? $600. So you're looking at $1,000 just in crating. That's before you pay for the $600 freight fee to get it to Delaware that I just made up out of my head, So you're talking like $2,000 if you're going to put your markup on it. So it's now $2,000 for this $8,000 table. It's a $10,000, and if you don't cover those costs, you're paying for them to get their table.
Yep. And
now the money's out of your pocket and you're full. I mean, that's just the bottom line. You have to do these things.
If your client's willing to pay $8,000 for a table, they're not going to blink too much at $2,000.
They're not balking
shipping
at the price. Yeah, they're not. You're not near their threshold for this project. So,
and in most cases, if they're seeking you out and they know you're not close,
right,
they should expect that.
They don't care about the price. They care about who made it for them.
Exactly.
At that point, they want who was this that called in?
Daniel Taylor.
Daniel Taylor. They want a Daniel Taylor custom piece of furniture. That's what they want. If they
custom crafted piece of furniture.
Yeah. Sorry, Daniel.
With the accent.
Yeah. Hey, this is Pete, thoughts?
So I'm at an advantage that makes this really easy. I'm on one coast of this great country of ours. Anytime I need to figure out shipping for something, we'll just pick the furthest point in the continental US and just pick
I actually put Pete's address in.
I put your address in. I put Coffee's address in.
I put Pete's address in.
Yeah, because just pick a spot.
I feel like as far as that advantage goes, I beat you all out. I'm in the middle of the country, so it doesn't matter where I pick. It's going to be the same.
Actually, your shipping is probably generally the cheapest. Yeah.
And generally, even if you're shipping to Hawaii or Alaska, the shipping's usually not going to be much bigger. Obviously the distance is much larger, but USPS and UPS, they have ways of kind of making sure that the prices are at least close. So honestly, just get that price. If you want to do a little markup on it, round it up or something, and you've got your cost. That's the easiest way to do it. Just box something up. Anytime I do a new product, figure it out, do it to that. And some of the smaller stuff, I already know what it's going to cost. I'm just kind of going off of the other stuff that I ship, but that's the easiest way to do it. Figure out your packaging, figure out what let's say you're doing small, whatever. It's a box. It's 12 by 18 by 10, whatever. It's going to be about 20 pounds. Just pick a random spot on a map. Pick a spot in Hawaii. Then your worst case scenario, and then pick some other spots too. You can play around with it and do different locations, and you can find out. So that's the easiest way to do it. Just pick a random house, and don't do. One other thing I would do is this doesn't affect most places, but UPS or whatever. If you pick a more rural area, a random spot that's further away, because some companies like handoff as well. Like the last leg of the shipping is done by USPS, or it's usually USPS does the last leg of the shipping if you're using UPS or FedEx. So that I actually don't know if that would change the shipping cost for those. I don't think it does. I think it's all done by zones. So that's the easiest way to do it. Just ballpark it.
Yep.
Yeah.
Good info there. This is from Braden, Little Bug.
Big old bug.
Hey guys, it's Braden with Little Bug. My question tonight is, if you had to pick between your other two podcast mates and decide which one was your favorite, which one would it be?
Keith.
I'm just kidding. My question is, what is something about woodworking or your business that almost no one agrees with you about? Hope you guys have a great night. See ya.
Can I go first? I got the perfect answer.
Yeah, I have no thought. Yeah, go ahead.
In-grain white oak cutting boards are just fine. Pete's giving me the bird, so I know my answer is correct.
I would argue even farther that end grain is safer than face grain white oak for cutting boards.
I would be okay with that.
That's a closed cell wood, but no open grain on the end grain. On a face, you got open grain.
Mungo, what do you say, Pete? You don't agree with that statement? Tell me why.
I just cracked a molar grinding my teeth through your sentence. No, well, I agree. That's fine. Yeah, it's. I think that's okay, Dan.
Ingrained ash is also good.
Yeah, you just want to fill each little thing with epoxy.
That's open cell. I'm out. That's straight up bacteria grounds.
None of Dan's customers have died to our knowledge, so I think it's safe.
How are they
the ones that have died?
My shop.
Yeah, there's no evidence.
Dead men tell no tales.
That's right.
This is really hard to answer. If I had to think about one thing, is that like I have better tools than some of the like professional shops that I've seen, and I don't use it for like full-time woodworking. Like that's not a thing that everyone would disagree with, but like some people look at my shop and they're like, you're like, why do you need all that, or you're wasting it, or whatever, like you don't need that, or you can you know, it's like all this stuff. But like, yeah, I got them because I want to. I love this hobby and I can make whatever I want. Literally right now, the only thing I can't work with is metal, and I can in a way, but I can't do welding. Like that's literally the only thing I can't do in my shop. But like anything else, I can laser cut, CNC, or figure out how to do it with all the other tools. And then if I break it, 3D print a replacement, whatever. Like I can just make whatever I want and I love it. But some people really don't like that. Whatever, that's their opinion.
There's a lot of angry people in the world.
People are just jealous. Yeah.
Anyway, Michael.
I don't know. I can't even think of anything. I just don't
list all the things you're doing that everyone thinks is wrong. It's hard.
I got one. Oh, making miter cuts on the CNC.
Oh yeah, that one is. I mean,
that's just.
But again, content. Like I don't even listen to that. I just don't care. I just want to do what I want to do. I don't know. Oh, someone got upset with me that in my stories that I said that using a bandsaw to cut tails for a dovetail was hand cut dovetails. So
I'm using my hands.
Yeah, I don't know what to say.
I love it.
I don't know what to say.
People get so angry about things.
I love it. You know, I love it. I like it when they get mad because it just doesn't affect what I'm doing. Doesn't affect them. And I literally could not care less about their opinion about what I'm doing.
Negative
I literally
care.
Yeah, is it negative care? Like I just can't like.
It's like our healthcare. It's negative care.
Yeah, exactly.
That hurts in a deep way.
At a heart because of the bad healthcare.
Yeah.
It just does. I just don't.
Well, this takes us into our next question.
It really does. This is a very good segue.
Yeah, the next question is from Malcolm.
Malcolm from to the right of the center.
From
Hey guys, it's Malcolm from Bossa Nova Woodworks, and this week my question is a part 2 of last week's question. So last week I asked for the weirdest question you guys have been asked, whether it's through the podcast or in person or whatever, but I excluded comments. This week I'd like to hear your weirdest or worst comments and how you've dealt with them. Thanks.
Dan, got to go to you with weirdest and worst.
You know, like it depends on the day. I get so many weird and dumb comments, like after a day I've forgotten about them unless they're really bad, then I stew on them for a while. But today, like, just talking about the C word table that I make, I'm just going full. Anyway,
Couch table.
I posted a link to the table and somebody said, "Oh, it's basically 3 boards and some paint."
That's what most tables.
Self-explanatory.
Most pieces of furniture.
Well, I know I need to value your comment. You clearly know what you're talking about. I don't know. It's usually from people who, they think they come into the comments and they think they have authority, and it's like, really, thank you, but I can't think of anything specific. There's just so much. It's like I know what a woman feels sort of when she gets mansplained to.
Don't go down this road.
No, I feel like with the comments.
Are you mansplaining? Oh no.
Oh, there go our 3 listeners.
No, I kind of understand now. I feel
Ladies,
like...
let me tell you about mansplaining.
That's not what I'm saying.
Answering these comments is like childbirth. I know exactly what you're going through.
I think you're mansplaining my mansplaining comment right now. Okay, you're not letting me talk.
Is this mansplainception?
Listen, honey.
But I feel like all the know-it-alls are mansplaining how to do something. It's crazy. Anyway, Pete, do you have any like good stories? I mean, you have to get some stupid comments whenever you share something from that like Emma's in this.
Yes. So like for a while, the weirdest comments were like Emma related, and when she would be in some videos, and it was usually feet related because people were just weird. Like she was barefoot in a shop doing the flip top cart thing, and of all the weird comments, like more than half of them were about like some nice feet, like more feet. Like what? Wait, this
was it sexual or just like a comment about safety though?
Well, some was about safety, but then there was like no, like more of those feet or whatever. Like,
can I lick between your toes?
No, weird stuff. Weird stuff.
Uncle Randy coming in hot with feet comments.
Can I pour marinara on your feet? Any chance?
Weird. I'm not even talking about like the people that you should really be wearing shoes. Like that's okay. I'll take that. Cool. But thank you for the engagement.
Guys, it's Malcolm from Bossa Nova Woodworks, and this week my question.
Rude of you, Malcolm. But in the last month, with all like the videos popping off, and this is actually even more on Facebook.
More on Facebook. That's what I usually say.
More on Facebook. More on Facebook. And it's this like blind, stupid confidence that some of these people have. Like Dan's saying, like they are mansplaining it to another man.
Confidence, man.
They're just like, that's wrong. Period. They have to throw the period in, and then like what? Like that's not the right way to do it. And I'll respond like, it's the left way to do it. And I just like messing with some of them. It's the dumber the comment, the more I want to mess with it. Sometimes Emma's like, come on, don't.
A lot of times I egg those people on to get more comments out of them. Just, it's self-serving in that.
Because it's engagement. So, and like sometimes I'll ask them a dumb question about their dumb comment. And
you know who's really good at that?
Back and forth.
If you don't follow John Wicks over at Wicks Woodwork.
I love his movies.
No, those are great movies. But I'm talking about Wicks Woodworking. He's in the shop with his kid a lot, and he gets a lot of troll comments, and he handles them really well. Go look at some of his comments.
Oh, yeah. John's a solid dude too.
I think the way you handle it, because there is obviously like I don't know how some people get away with all the like some of the really rude trolley comments and some with like some profanity in there that don't get flagged. Because I will say like girls are weird on Instagram, and one of my posts, and I got flagged. My post got taken down.
Someone for sure reported you, dude.
Exactly.
For sure.
But like you have to be careful with what you say. You obviously don't want to call someone an idiot or whatever. Sometimes you'll like write a comment as a joke to even like I'll be writing it to Dan. It's like, you sure you want to post this? This is gonna go against your whatever.
One of my buddies, my actual in real life buddies, posted something, and he made a comment back to me, and I did what I always do to you guys, and I said, I'll cut you. That got flagged, taken down right away. Like
when I got my laser, someone said something and I said, I'll laser your brains out or something. And I got like flagged for, trying to murder a whole family or something crazy like that. It was like ridiculous. It's just like, okay.
So My
You can't even
advice
fit
is
someone's head under the gantry. How am I supposed to do that?
and I really learned this from Dan. It's like I'm not a spiteful person, but Dan is one of the kings of like, or at least the prince of like snarky remarks back. Now Dan occasionally does get like a little over the top or go straight for their mom.
Sometimes people can get under my skin. I'm a human.
No, it's fine. As with me too. But I love a good snarky comment because most of the time they're going to respond back, and it's always extra fun. So I think I'd say just like take each one of those really negative comments as if you're talking to some idiot that doesn't know any better, and just have fun with it. That's it. Just give it right back to them. And then the really dumb ones, just ignore. Who cares? Engagement.
I like how we've turned Malcolm's question of what's the weirdest comment you got onto a rant about stupid commenters.
Yeah, well, I mean, that's what it is. It's usually ones like calling us idiots for doing something. And like sometimes we're being a little trolly doing something. But other times it's just like they're just dumb and rude. Mike, you get a lot of trolls too, probably. Like, dumb beard, looks like a box of cereal.
Right. It's mostly Jackman. No, not really, honestly. Like I honestly, it's like not as real honest is my posts just aren't reaching outside of my following. Like, so I'm not seeing any of that in a while. Like when posts get outside of my following, then it's like, oh, this guy, is dumb or whatever. So like my following is people who follow me for a reason, I would assume. So they're generally supportive.
For that ass.
Yeah, for this dump truck of a but no, I'm not getting reach outside of my following at all. I'm just not. So I'm not seeing it right now. When I get it, I typically pin it. It's a pin comment.
Yeah.
Oh, that's another good way to do it.
I pin it immediately, and I know this is gold. And as soon as I pin it, whatever my response is going to get at least 50 likes, and it helps engagement a lot because I always make it some sort of rude attack on them. I always make sure it's like some sort of witty comment back. And that gets a ton of that will get a lot of likes.
And then share that in your stories too.
Right.
Even better when someone else, like one of your followers, someone in a community, rips into that person before you even get into it. And like, oh yeah, pin this fight. Like, yes.
Yeah. You can, if you can like that, if you can basically when I'm pinning it and I make a comment, I'm basically inviting the community to attack this person and help me kick them while they're down. That's what I'm doing.
Like anytime anyone is mean to Alma, the community just like rallies. They get so mad and they rip the person apart. I remember last time somebody was like telling her she wasn't using a track saw right, and people just ripped apart some dude. Well, but whatever. You're trying to mansplain how to use a
she talked about that
saw.
when she was a guest on our podcast.
Oh yeah, to a Festool rep or a Festool associate.
It was just take advantage of those dummies and use them to your fullest extent. Seize the moment. The next question is from Thomas.
Seize the day.
French. French.
Hey guys.
Hey.
My question tonight is for Mike because you were at the Festool convention, but Pete and Dan, I'd also be interested in your answers too. Which tool at the convention was so impressive you wish you took and ran away with? I am going to speak very slowly for the rest of this message, just in case this break was actually for number 2. The small table saw seems nice, but isn't it a bit small to be really practical? Alright, shake, zip, wash hands, and done. Bye guys. This speed break is proudly offered to you by tsg.mex on YouTube and Instagram. Please don't pee and drive.
I appreciate you giving us a break.
I'll jump into this. So the small saw is the coolest thing they showed. It's a table saw in a sustainer. It's sick.
Pretty cool.
Like it really is cool.
Aren't all the accessories like packed to the top of it?
Everything's in it, dude.
Everything's in it, right?
It's really it's like German engineering at its absolute finest. Like very cool tool. Do I need it in my shop as a furniture maker? No. It makes no sense. That is not geared towards me. It is not geared towards probably this entire show's audience. It is geared towards a guy or gal who does trim and finish carpentry in homes and does a lot of crown mold, does a lot of trim pieces, cabinet work. I still want one because that slider is crazy accurate. Like it is so nice. Those linear rails are so nice.
Is it battery only?
Yes. And it's fine. Like, I mean, you could their cordless lineup. I mean, that was the whole push for that whole thing was cordless lineup. It was pretty impressive stuff. But the tool, the saw is cool. I could see myself using it a lot I'd literally break it out for miters on small pieces, for boxes, for custom boxes and stuff. Do I need a tool dedicated to that? Do I need to spend that much money on it? Probably not. I mean, it's not going to make much sense in my shop. Am I probably going to get it just because I like Festool a lot and I think the tool is really, I probably will. I mean, tools are part of my life and it's just kind of how it goes. It just is what it is. So that tool was very cool. The most practical tool that they announced for my shop is the TS60, which is the new track saw. It is so nice. I cannot overemphasize how nice that track saw is.
Is it a thin curve?
It's a 1.8 thin curve with more power. It actually doesn't have the detachable cord anymore because the power is over what the United States allows for detachable power cords. So it has the bigger motor than the TS75 does. We were cutting. So we did that furniture build off. I was cutting a full depth through 1.5 inch walnut. I didn't even feel it was amazing. Like I could run it through that thing. Oh, full depth, 1.5 inch. Dan, it was so nice, dude. It was, nice. I was like, oh geez, this is noticeably
normally
better.
Something like that, we'd take 2 or 3 passes.
Right, exactly.
And that's crazy.
I mean, new blades on it for sure for the demonstration, but still, I think when we used it, I felt confident that I could do that even when the blade was dull. I mean, it was, I'm getting one immediately.
Did you trigger the anti-kickback, right? Because it's got no riving knife.
I didn't try to, but it does. It has a riving knife, but it has anti-kickback. Yeah.
It has anti-kickback.
I rarely run into that, so it wasn't like a big selling point for me.
That was going to be my answer. That saw that. What intrigues me about that saw is the scoring blade that's on there.
So that's a separate model, but it's the same blade. It's the same TS60, but they have one with a scoring attachment on the front. I don't do a lot of melamine, so I don't really care. And I don't really do a ton of plywood.
What kind of blade is it? Like just like a mark, like
it's running the other way. It's like a 4-inch blade.
It's
it goes down.
Another blade.
Yeah. Oh yeah, it's another blade in front of the blade, and it has it only cuts like a 16th. It just gets rid of the veneer.
I've seen it on like table saws. I've never seen it on a circular saw.
It's pretty cool. I mean, if you're doing a lot of cabinet work, if you don't have, I mean, I've seen CNC, so not really, it's negligible value for me. Like there's no value. But if you have a Sprinter van full of tools you take on site, you're probably doing a lot of trim work. You probably want a scoring unit on yours. So that was very cool. No value for me, but very cool. Next step in track saw technology.
But I didn't know about the extra power where you could cut 1.5 inch walnut diamond.
Oh,
I didn't realize it was a bigger motor.
Wow, it's nice. Like it can't get as deep as the TS75, but you know the 55, you can actually do a miter, a 45-degree miter. I want to say you can do a full 2-inch thick cut with it at 45.
With the 55?
No, with the 60. With the 55, you cannot. With the 55, you cannot. You can only do 1.5 inches. I'm almost certain.
I'm very intrigued with this thing. Like,
so the
might trade in.
I could be wrong, Dan. I'll take. But I'm keeping my 75. So what we're gonna do is we're gonna keep the 60 in the main shop, and then the cordless 55 will go into the CNC shop because Matt uses it to break down sheet goods all the time for the CNC. So it makes sense for him to have it over there. And then they had a cordless reciprocating. Yeah, the cordless reciprocating saw.
Yep. And with dust collection, I saw.
It worked, man. I mean, I don't.
Everybody that was using it looked like it worked great.
No, I mean,
that was everyone's content today.
We use a reciprocating saw to break down thick slabs because the blades are like 6 inches long, and a jigsaw can't do it, and a circ saw can't do it. And we have like 4+ inch thick. So I'm probably gonna buy it for that because I don't have a beam saw. And honestly, I'll be really honest, like a jigsaw or a reciprocating saw kind of works better for me than a beam saw. Right. For what I'm doing, because I just need to rough break it down to get it on the CNC to flatten.
And you don't want to use like a track saw or a circular saw for that. I mean, you can bind and
exactly. So I have a Hilti, which is actually a pretty nice reciprocating saw, but I'm probably gonna buy this Festool one just because I'm addicted to the Festool tools. And like you're using it, you know how when you're using a reciprocating saw, you're just like it's like a jackhammer. Thing doesn't vibrate at all.
Oh,
it doesn't vibrate at all. Like you don't
I actually use my Milwaukee recip saw for busting loose the dust that collects in my HEPA filter.
You hold it against it
just because it's like a jackhammer.
It's crazy. Like
that's right. You got cool. That like big dong attachment.
I got bad news for our listeners. The dildo broke. I had to throw it
Oh
out.
no, that's
Yeah.
really sad. Well, we'll have to do a sad song here. You'll have to do it. You're the editor. Yeah, Sarah McLaughlin. No, and then they had a bunch of new drills. There's I feel like the CTC MIDI. It's a cordless dust extractor.
Mhm.
That's actually going to be here in the shop next week. They're sending me one to try out and do some content on. I'm kind of like, I'm not sure how we're going to use that in our shop because we don't do a lot of installs, but I have some ideas now for how we're going to use it in a furniture shop.
Have they revamped their batteries, or it's all still the same battery line?
They're pulling a lot. So you can do 30 minutes of solid straight sanding on the lowest suction setting, which I put my, just pro tip, put your dust extractors on the lowest setting when you're sanding, because what happens is the dust extractors are so good, they pull your sander to the top and you get more swirl marks. So if you lower your suction to the lowest setting,
That's right.
I remember
I remember Sedge telling
Sedge was
us
saying
that in Austin, I believe.
Yep.
Yeah.
So, but anyway, the lowest setting on that thing, they said 30 straight minutes of sanding. Now, keep in mind, 30 straight minutes of sanding is a lot of sanding you're going to get done. So,
now that's sanding with the sander plugged into the vacuum, right?
No, the you can't plug into the vacuum.
Oh, okay.
So that will have to get its own power unit. So with the CTC MIDI will come with the Bluetooth remote button that you put on the thing. We're actually going to probably use it exclusively with the Origins, just because that button feature is really nice to turn it on when you're using the Origin. So anyway, there's ways we're going to use it in the shop. I'm not sure 100% if I can be like, yeah, as a furniture maker, you need a cordless dust extractor when corded dust extractors exist still. But we're getting it. We'll figure out how to use it and make it value of it.
A lot of install based stuff,
right? It's good stuff for like on.
A lot of
I mean, we have to do an on-site thing next in San Francisco next week. Like Matt's going down there. I'm hoping this gets here in time because Matt's gonna have to. If Matt has the cordless one, that's gonna be way better because then he can put the drill driver set and all the tools he needs on the sustainer and roll it in and do the stuff at the job site. So
is that your job with Rice-A-Roni, the San Francisco treat?
Right. Yep, we're doing a rice tensegrity table, rice epoxy tensegrity table for Rice-A-Roni. What was that when everyone was like breaking up? What's the
ramen?
The crappy food? Ramen, yeah, the ramen. the rice and the ramen and epoxy tables. Yeah, no, we're not doing that. That's a rumor, and you need to stop spreading that. So anyway, your guys' thoughts on any of those tools?
Cool.
I love that table saw. I think that's super cool.
That TS60 to me looked really intriguing, and it's nice to hear that it's got all that power.
No, it's dope. Like I'm really impressed with it. I
didn't realize that the scoring blade was a different like tool
separate
or
model.
Different add-on.
It's a different model.
Separate.
Yeah, like you can get I actually didn't inspect, and I probably should have. I don't know if you can just take that scoring unit off and just have, because it's longer by like 9 inches. You know what I mean?
Oh,
like 9 inches longer. You know.
You did the joke right. I like it. Okay.
I did it right. Yeah.
Say when.
So anyway, it was cool. Those tools there were great.
I honestly, I really hope that a corded version of that table saw comes out, because I see that saw becoming like, the people that don't have room for a full size saw, they have a car in their shop, whatever it is, or they do installs, like, and being able to plug in and have permanent power all the time.
I don't see that as a hobbyist saw, though. I mean, you got to understand that saw is going to cost quite a bit of money.
There are people that don't have the space for a big saw, but have the money for a nice saw.
That's true. That's true. People will just throw money at their hobby.
And the thing is, like, in Europe, they have the small, like what we, everyone around here is getting the small, like DeWalt contract, or the contractor saw, I guess it's called, whatever, the job site saw, job site saws and stuff. Like, there is a Festool version of that in Europe, and it's really nice, but we don't have it here. And I think a lot of people would invest in one of those if it was here, but we'll see. You never know. This might just be the first batch of it.
The other cool thing about that saw is that it's a digital readout, and it's all
height
dials
and
so
angle, right?
Height and it's sick.
So nice.
It's really cool. Like you can set the miter.
I actually love that. Love that.
It's slick. It's really smooth too. So it's pretty slick. It's a cool tool. I don't know. It's not going to take a lot for me to justify it, but I'm going to have to do some justifying for my shop. But yeah, that's kind of where I'm at with it. That was it for. Oh no, there was another question that was written in by Mr. Adam J. Barnett. I'm assuming his middle name is Jims, not James. Jims.
Jabroni.
Jabroni. Adam Jabroni Barnett. Mike, what was the cool? Oh, I just answered that. What was the coolest thing you saw at the Festool event? That's see
Jason
previous
Bent,
comments.
Jason Bent and you doing the ghost pottery thing
Doing
on a
the
table
ghost
saw.
pottery thing was
Ghost, but
great.
they were
Yeah.
resawing wood.
Yeah,
That
whatever
was
they were
that
doing.
event was cool because my team was, for the most part, I mean, Jason was on my team. That was a last minute ad.
So was that
hipster?
like a thing like we did in Austin? Was it 2 teams and you guys did
Exactly the
build-offs
same.
and
So what they're doing now, it's cool, is they're going to do one in Austin at Rubio, one at Festool at Lebanon, and then one in Shaper
country?
headquarters in San Francisco.
that even
the
safe?
country of Lebanon. Yeah, they're gonna.
And one
That
in
seems
Shaper?
irresponsible. I don't know. And then Shaper Tools headquarters in San Francisco is going to be doing one too. So there's going to be 3 a
Right,
year.
very
It's gonna be
cool.
slick.
Yeah,
So,
we gotta get on that list.
So that
I'll have
that
my guy
was,
call your guy.
yeah,
that-
that rice-a-roni build-off sounds great.
Rice-A-Roni, Tensegrity, epoxy table build off. It's going to be sick.
We do it like
No,
Iron Chef, where like they in the beginning they just lift up the thing, and it's like, oh, you have to incorporate like leeks into all the tables. Oh no, tofu.
Corks. No, so no, it's gonna be so that's pretty cool. But it was a great build off. It was fun. All the people were, it was great. It was solid. It was really an honor to be a part of that. So that was a lot
You
of
made
fun.
memories and new friends, it looked like.
Right. Well, not a lot of new friends. I got to meet Dusty. That guy's really as chill as you would imagine.
Dusty
Dusty
from-
Lumber Co.
Lumberco. Okay, I thought you
Yeah.
meant
The company,
oh,
lumber.
Your guy's freaking YouTube channel is like 1.7 million off of shorts. It's crazy.
Is he monetized? yet?
1.7. No, he's not quite there. He's gonna get 73 billion more views. So no. Dude
Working on
gets insane. Like, go look at his channel. It's insane. His numbers are bonkers. They're
Bonkers.
just
you know, maybe we'll invite him on the show someday and maybe he'll tell us no.
you know what? I guarantee you he'd come on the show. I don't think he's never been. He was telling me he's never ever been to any events like that ever. That was his first event
First time for
ever.
everything.
Really?
I was like, really? He's like, yeah, I've never been invited to any of these things. I was like, interesting. He's just a super
Okay.
nice guy. Really, I'm gonna actually message him. Should we have him on the show? That'd be great, huh?
Heck yeah.
I'd love
He's
to have
super,
Dusty on.
like, he's
He
super
seems
nice.
real nice.
He's the reason
I mean-
he does so well is because he seems so approachable, and he is that approachable.
He
He's
just
very
smiles
nice.
a lot in his reels, so
Yeah.
figure he's a nice guy.
Puts
He does it for
through
me.
tusked tendons and
That's all I
everything.
need. That's all I need.
Smiling.
Smiling. Yeah. And then quick programming note: next week we'll have Eric Spenceley on the show. Also, WorkbenchCon is in 2 weeks. I actually don't think you can buy tickets after. Oh shoot, yeah, we got time for that. Never mind.
Okay.
If you're gonna buy a WorkbenchCon ticket, use code AWP.
Mhm.
You get 50 bones. That's 50 doll hairs off the price. We get $50. If you prove to us with an invoice that you bought a ticket using our receipt, we will
And
buy
a
you
birth
scone.
certificate.
And yeah, we need some. You need to
We'll have Dan
provide a
buy your drink.
W-9.
100%.
Yeah. And then we will bring you on as a non-employee contractor and buy you one
Hope
drink.
you like Chelada.
Dan
Do they
opens
sell
up a trench
Chelada
coat
at the
full of
bar?
Cheladas. Chelada trench coat is the name of the episode.
What do you want? What do you want? What do you want?
No,
Standing in the shadows. You guys want
yeah, we're coming in hot. Let's say Thursday, so less than 2 weeks we will be in Hotlanta.
Yeah.
Yeah,
And the
baby.
week after that episode is going to be awesome for anyone that,
It won't
even
be
if
good.
you went, but
I need to talk to you about the week after WorkbenchCon because I just got reminded about something.
all right, fine. We'll record Wednesday. You got to be on it because we got to talk recap of WorkbenchCon. That's going to be a big one.
Okay.
Yeah. We'll make it work, Dan.
All right.
Relax.
Okay.
Just relax now, Mike. Go ahead.
It's calm. Anyway, yeah, so that's the programming notes. We'll be back next week with a show, and then we won't be back the week after that. Sounds like Dan is telling us right now that we won't be back the week after that as well.
I'm telling you, I'm quitting.
Oh,
No, I'm not telling
This
you
is
that.
weird.
You can't get rid of me that easy.
You can't leave. Mike and I have way too much sexual
No,
tension. It will
we're-
literally, the show will fall apart.
right.
Actually, the
This is
week
too
after
much.
WorkbenchCon, we are driving to Orlando.
Like the
Driving.
Florida kind?
Yeah, the Florida, Orlando.
What day? Monday?
I don't know. I need to verify that. I
let's
tried
get
my wife to let me just stay in Atlanta and meet them in Orlando, but she was not
Not a bad
having
idea.
that.
Not a bad idea.
She was not having that. So
Why are you guys driving there?
because plane tickets are like $800 a piece, and we can take my wife's little Nissan and spend
Okay.
$150.
All right. $150 to get down there?
No, $1.50. It's a really good gas mileage car.
$1.50 the whole way, huh?
$1.50.
Negative
third of a gallon. It's all downhill.
7,000 miles a gallon.
Have you ever looked at a map? Nebraska.
Yeah, and we're just gonna make the kids eat like dried
Hop
spaghetti
into neutral and
and
just
ramen. You're gonna bring one of your epoxy ramen tables and break
no
it apart.
rice-a-roni. They're paying me. I don't. That's why I kept bringing it up.
He's got
This
one of
trip
those like
brought to you by
hydrogen
Rice-A-Roni.
engines in his car. The secret ones that people make.
Yeah,
Rice-
we're driving.
rice-
We're idiots.
Rice-trogen.
We're driving there, and then like on the way back, we're gonna go take a longer route and probably go through Nashville and make it.
Sounds like Pete and I are
fun.
doing a wrap-up episode for WorkbenchCon without Dan the
absolutely.
week after WorkbenchCon.
Yeah,
I'm sure Jackman will be free.
I mean,
Yeah, he's never going on.
Kayla and I were actually talking. I think I can take one of our laptops down.
You're
to
for sure not
the
going to do
resort,
that on your
You're definitely
vacation.
not.
and
No.
I
not
will
gonna do
just
that.
be drunk as a skunk.
I would love
and-
for your audio to be trash. Yeah, that'd be so fun.
No, I'll take my gear. I can do that. I'm driving. I can do that.
Dan, you can't even remember stickers
This is
to
true.
every event.
This is accurate. Okay, stop attacking me. Let's wrap this up.
Yeah, let's wrap this.
Yeah, let's wrap this up.
Big thanks to our patrons. Big thanks to everyone who supports the show and keep sharing the show. We haven't had anyone sharing the show lately. I don't know. Actually, I don't know. I don't know if any of us checks the actual social media on for the NWP page.
John, share the show. All the Johns out there, share the show. This week's your
Johns.
week.
It's all the Johns.
Yeah.
Next week's Zach.
Yeah,
Zach's need to take care of it.
John,
We'll give you guys
John
the login. We're
Kopetsky, Alex Copa Johns, you two. John's in your name.
That's more than one John. Alex Copa Johns. He
A
counts
couple
as
Johns.
two.
Yeah.
I got a couple Johns.
A couple Johns.
So big thanks to all y'all who do that and help us out every week. Anyway, share the show some more. Share the show. Get the word out there. Help us share the word on this show so it can succeed and not come crashing down like a train in Ohio. We'll see you guys next week. Have a good one. Stay safe
Love
from
y'all,
there.
bye.
I love you long time.
Bye bye now. Is that too much?